Welcome, everybody. My name is Ken Bollender with Prosperity Highway Global. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone on our live call, plus everyone that's watching the recording. Guys, what an exciting time. By the way, Steve would like to welcome you as well.
Aloha, everybody. Welcome to company number 5 reveal.
All right. Fantastic. Guys, we are so fired up. We appreciate everybody's patience during this rollout period. It took a little extra long with company number 5 for various reasons because of the enrollment process. And you guys have been very, with both company number 5 and number 6, we've asked everyone to keep it quiet. And the reason for that, guys, is the integrity. When you build a team here, we want you to be able to benefit from that team. And so when we roll out a company, it goes from level to level to level. And so we really want, we can't dictate to people, but we want to, as far as what we facilitate a system where we keep the integrity of that tree. And with the process, by not doing it this way, then sometimes people will, somebody else is in that company, and it breaks down the integrity. So by the way, that's not easy. It took a lot of work, a lot of programming to have a process like this. And it really comes down to the integrity, guys. So we appreciate your understanding with that. We did kind of do a little bit of a ready, fire, aim with company 5 and 6. I do apologize. That's on me. We didn't want to wait any longer to roll out these companies. We were sitting there with three weeks left of the month, and Steve and I talked about, should we, so that we could roll it out perfect, to put it out a couple of weeks. Well, company number 5, well, both companies, you'll see the month end is important. And we didn't want to launch, in the third week of the month. So we decided we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger on this. So we launched this on the 12th. And it was a little bit of a ready, fire, aim. And it was a little bit of a challenge to put out the information because we needed to keep it confidential for about 3 weeks. But now, guys, hopefully most of you have seen the training that we have in the back office. When you click on the income streams, you go down and click income stream number 5. There's training in there that there's a lot of information, probably that you wish you had from day one, but it's there now. And guys, going forward, we're going to be able to have a lot of information, a lot of training, a lot of coaching, now that everybody will know after today what that company is. Before we dive into that, I just want to lay just a little bit of a historical background here. This is a company that I was in back in the turn of the century, as my friend John calls it, 2000. My wife and I were gold executive directors in that company. We had about 7, 8 executive directors on our team at that point in time. And we know this company really well. And one other factor, guys, when we decided on company 5 and 6, we have some young companies in the first 3 companies, and we didn't want in our portfolio another startup. Okay, we realize there's a lot of shiny objects. There's a temptation to, well, let's run with this company because it's hot at the moment. Let's run with that company. But guys, quite frankly, we don't need to be chasing the latest shiny penny. What we want to build is a foundation of integrity, of companies that have products and services that stand alone in the marketplace. And certainly company number 5 and company number 6, they're both billion-dollar companies. The company, they have millions of customers. Both of them have millions of customers that aren't even in the business. So these are real solid opportunities, and we're proud to be able to introduce those. Now, I kind of moved away from working this company many years ago. I re-engaged about 8 years ago, and our multiple income streams didn't seem to be a good fit at the time. But one of our members, Phil, we're going to bring him on here now. And Phil said, well, hey, the company, they have a new CEO. They're more open-minded. The way technology and things are going right now, they're more open-minded and would be more okay with the multiple streams of income approach. Now, guys, I want to underscore 2 things. Okay, number one is all of our companies that are okay with us doing multiple streams of income. What they're not okay with is cross recruiting. Okay, so example, you don't go into a convention with our foundation company, Savings Highway. Somebody went into one of their Zooms and started chatting people and tried to recruit them into Sparky and Prosperity Highway Global. That's not acceptable, guys. That's cross recruiting, and that's what these companies don't stand for. So these companies are happy to have the business, but we have to do it right. Okay, so we'll have more training and emphasis on that, guys. But the second thing, guys, is we're not representing that any of these companies are endorsing us. We're all independent agents, and we put together a marketing platform. We're working together as a team for all of us to build our businesses, and we don't represent that any of the companies endorse us. Okay, so it's up to us as a team to do things in integrity, do things professionally, so that we keep a great relationship with each of our companies. Okay, with that said, guys, yeah, so as I mentioned, Phil, we were in a discussion and he was kind of updating us. And Steve, can you highlight Phil, bring him in on the discussion?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
See where Phil is.
Yeah, Phil was saying, well, you oughta include this company. I'm like, well, we tried. It just didn't seem to be a good fit 8 years ago. So, hey, Phil, how you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, how you doing, team? Oh man, I'm super excited, guys. I'm so fired up. These two next gentlemen that are gonna speak are just so special to me, and they will be to you as well, I believe, because they're gonna help us make a lot of money. I haven't really seen anything like this. I've been around network marketing for over 20 years, and I got to meet like Ken. I was also previously in this company, and my whole core foundational principles came from the integrity of Legal Shield, of this business, from these two individuals, who are my mentors, have been my mentors. And 20 years ago they didn't know who I was. Today I'm fortunate enough to call them friends. And I want to introduce my good friend, Mr. John Malott. He is an extremely special individual. I mean, this gentleman, not only has he made multiple six figures monthly incomes in network marketing, but I consider him a true grand master, as is Mr. Darnell self, who you'll hear from as well, in the industry. And if you've been around network marketing, which most of you folks have, and then you'll understand what I'm saying. I mean, the integrity, the personal development, the principles here, the core principles are just unbelievable. I'm going to get myself out of the way. The company itself has a 50-year track record, but guys, I'm just so fired up. Let me introduce Mr. John Malott. John, say a couple of words, and then you can introduce Darnell. Thank you, guys.
All right, Phil, I'll pay you later for that kind introduction. So,
I love you, bro.
Said that same thing to my wife, because she is.
Hey, John, I just want to make a comment about what I know about John. Is several years ago, about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, it seems like, we were flown down to Arizona and joined a company called Secret. And John was one of the key players in that. In fact, most of the team in that company was in John's downline. Was around I think it was around $200 million of the 200 some odd million was in John's team. So John knows how to build teams. He knows how to make money. And so, John, so excited to work with you. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to bore you with my whole background, because the gray hair, it means I have a lot of history. I've been doing this for a long time, and I have 4 daughters, so that's also part of the gray hair. But really, the claim to fame is I didn't get off the ground very well. I didn't have all the things society says you're supposed to have to be successful. Society has a way of putting people in boxes. Could be the color of your skin, it could be your gender, your background. In my case, it was my lack of education. I started my working career off as a janitor. Well, I had a title. I was a custodial engineer. I was scrubbing other man's toilets, man. I was working paycheck to paycheck. I'm struggling to keep up with the big mouth promises I made to family, friends, and bill collectors. I just knew there had to be a better way. And then I had a baby on the way, and I knew I had to get my daughter out of that environment, the neighborhood that I unfortunately grew up in. And that became my mission, my passion. I just didn't know how to do it. And then, of course, I got invited to a meeting back then, and I went, kicking and screaming and skeptical, and I didn't do anything for a long time, but I realized I didn't have a better alternative. And here's what, and I'll just kind of fast forward. It ended up being a company called the People's Network, which a company called Prepaid Legal purchased. So I came in indirectly through this purchase with some of the biggest names in the entire profession that we're all in. And that's where everything changed. It was where I made my first $100,000 year. I was in my late 20s. I was in my early 30s. My first $100,000 year, my first 250,000, my first million was made there. And it was a blessing, man. It was very interesting because it was where I learned systems. It's where I learned duplication, simplicity. I didn't know anything about scaling. I didn't know anything about leverage. I just know what my dad did. My dad went to work at a steel mill until one day Flight for Life picked him up from work. You know what I mean? That was kind of what my brother and I were being, groomed to do. And I caught on pretty quick, especially after his mishap, that was not for me. I didn't want to do that. So entrepreneurship became my way. And let me just real quick, before I introduce the next speaker, who I'm super excited to hear from, because he's really the reason why we're here. And really the reason why the company has become so open, the reason why the company's winning so big. When I had a mentor send me something over a while back, and it was called Entrepreneur Simplified. He said, nowadays everybody's an entrepreneur. Just go on Instagram or TikTok. Everyone's an entrepreneur. Whether it's real or not is irrelevant. Now you can put CEO on your business card, and you don't have to be a CEO. You ain't CEO in anything, but it's fine. But our entrepreneur is simply one who enriches the lives of others by solving problems. And when I got that down, whenever I did anything entrepreneurial, it couldn't be just about me. You follow me? Because in the beginning, it was, yes, I got to get out of the neighborhood. I need money, all these things. But that's hard to sustain when it's me, myself, and I. We all know people like that. And sooner or later, they kind of get exposed. But when I caught on that entrepreneurship was about solving the problems of others, then it became real easy for me to evaluate people, because we know, I can tell how many people can smell commission on certain people's breath. They're not there for you. It's all commission, baby. Give me that money, 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 money. And I was around a lot of those people. But when I got involved in this company, at the time it was called Prepaid Legal Services, one of the very first people I met who came in about the same time through the same transition was a gentleman who you're about to hear from. And I number one, what I loved about the service is you couldn't get it anywhere else. So me, high school dropout, the criminal record, all the things that I had 30 some years ago. I guess I still have that, but I don't acknowledge it anymore. It didn't matter. It really was an equal opportunity. It allowed me to come to the marketplace with something special, something unique. And then later on, fast forward almost 30 years later, you can't get it at Amazon. I don't have anybody saying, hey, I can get that same thing for $5 less on Amazon. I'm like, no, Sparky, you can't get this anywhere else but from us at the new Sparky. So the three things that sum up the gentleman that I want to introduce you to, that you're going to realize there's nobody. I've been around this profession. Some of you guys know I own Snap Active Lifestyle with my wife. We launched our own network marketing company. We did 30 some million in commissions while we were in transition. In secret, that's what you were talking about, where I met you, the #1 income earner there, 7 of the 8 years I was there. We got a chance to see a lot of things. Got to travel the world, live all over the world. But one thing I never saw anybody in that entire time that understood these three things better than this gentleman. #1, community. Now, community is not that tough, and we give a lot of lip service. If you're a leader of any type, you got 3 people, you can say, I'm building a community. A community is just like, is the grass cut. If you can tell a nice community is, if there's heroin needles on the ground, maybe it's not the community you want to be in. But if the grass is nice and stuff, all right, now we got to start. We got the foundation. So a lot of people can help to contribute and create the community. Like you guys are doing the AI thing. We all want to figure out, how the hell do I participate in artificial intelligence? Because I don't want to be left behind by it. And network marketing, I was always concerned, was for sure getting left behind, because most network marketers are still dinosaurs. They still think like that. Scarcity mentality, afraid to, anyways, they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to change stuff. But technology is coming whether we like it or not. And for us to be able to be part of a community that not only gets it, but is sharing it. Now, I've been playing around the back office. I'm seeing some incredible possibilities for us. #2, this is hands down it's for sure up there with one of the biggest reasons why you want to listen carefully to the next speaker more than me. culture. Culture. Again, we hear a lot of leaders talk about culture. So let me tell you what culture is. Culture is, it encompasses the shared beliefs, the values, the behaviors, and practices of a group of people. I guess simply put, it's the way of life of a group of people. It's the way of life of a group of people. So I hear people talk about culture, but I get around their people and I see that their life isn't mimicking the leader, or the leader isn't providing the environment that makes sense for me to be part of that culture. I have never seen a culture like the culture that Mr. Darnell Self and of course his wife has created. This is a culture through thick or thin, doesn't matter what's going on. They stick together, they build things together, they invest together, they play together. And this is not a few people. And I'm gonna let him maybe tell how many people, but this is a massive, massive community of people that are living life together. Matter of fact, we're leaving on the 3rd, I believe, to go to Riviera Maya to go hang out with these people. And the final thing, number 3, compensation. In the end, we got to get paid. Like, it's great we can sing Kumbaya together and hold hands, but if I can't pay my bills, my wife is going to tell me get away from the Sparky guys and Darnell Self quit. So you know, money isn't everything, but it is when you don't have it. Talk to someone struggling to pay their rent right now. Money becomes the first thing they think about when they wake up and the last thing they think about if they can go to sleep. Compensation. And this gentleman has helped create in his organization, his team has been paid almost $600 million. This is not gross revenue for the company. This is not total sales. This is cash in our pockets. Bills paid, vacations taken, kids taken care of. $600 million. I don't know that there's very many people in this entire profession that can even come close to that type of success, or I should say significance. Without any further ado, guys, please help me welcome the fearless leader, an incredible mentor, the one and only Mr. Darnell Self.
Awesome. Put some fire in the chat for Darnell. Hoo-hoo. Great job, John.
Hey,
Good to
no,
you, brother.
yeah,
Appreciate
John.
you.
Yeah, John Malott is in rarefied air. He's a special human being, and being able to build a relationship with him has been refreshing. Sometimes, you know, you meet people in business, and you know, trust is important in any relationship, guys. And in business, sometimes it's tested. And it's tested, not to say that anyone's perfect, and I don't even shoot for perfection, right? I shoot for excellence. I shoot to be better. And it's just always good to be around people who become a better version of themselves. Every time you see them, you're like, man, you continue to get better. I thought you couldn't get any better, and then you proved me wrong. And that's John Malott. Every time I hear him, I'm like, dude, you got better than last week. And so it's just great to be here. Great to see you, Steve, Ken, Phil,
Hey.
my buddy John Malott. Great to see you guys. So what's up, everybody? Great to be here. I'm not going to keep you long. I just want to say hey to everyone. Happy Thursday, everyone who's watching this live. And if you're watching the replay, happy whatever day it is that you're watching it. And it's exciting to be able to reveal this opportunity to many of you all. Some of you may already know a little bit about what we do. But if not, today you will. And I believe you will see, as John Malott talked about, the difference that we're able to make. And it's like, how good does it feel when you're able to make a difference and make a living at the exact same time? And here, you can't really make an immense living without making an immense difference. Like, they literally are aligned. And you'll see that as I go over this project with you guys. So again, it's an honor to be asked to be your speaker this evening. I don't take it for granted. I know it could have been someone else. And so grateful that my wife and I are in this position where we're even asked to share our story and to share a little bit about what we do. So I talk fast, by the way. So with a 30-minute presentation feels like it's 10 minutes because I talk so fast. So forgive me. I am from the Northeast. I'm from the DMV, affectionately known as the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So I'm about 10 minutes from Washington, DC, but I live in Maryland, and about 15 minutes from Virginia. And I, as of recent, have moved to Houston. So I am Houston and Maryland now. I'm in my Maryland home today, but Houston tomorrow. So I'm back and forth and excited to be here with you guys today. All right, enough about me. Let me share some slides here with you guys real quickly that will help you to digest this information a little bit better here. And I have the opportunity to share my screen, right? I think.
Yeah, yes. You're a
Okay.
co-host.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pull up my slides here for you, and that should be able to help you out just a little bit as I go through this information. So let me share slides. Bam, bam. Like my sound effects there. Bam. All right, cool. All right, cool.
Hey, Darnell, could I just say one thing real quick?
Yeah, please do, man.
So Steve and I, you heard we went on the road. So we were in St. Louis, then we flew to Baltimore for the Legal Shield convention. And then we added to our trip to Texas, both got back up. Well, that was part of our trip. We went to the Legal Shield convention and we were just absolutely blown away. And a lot you can say about the convention itself, but just after the convention, the breakout rooms, there's Darnell's team and everybody else. And I didn't, get too scientific, but just looking at the entire group of Legal Shield, I would estimate probably 40% of everyone that was at those breakout rooms on that Sunday was in Darnell's group. Their conference calls have 650, 700 people on their Zoom calls. Guys, these guys have a culture. I'm just so proud to be aligned with Darnell. I mean, he's tight with the CEO, with all the other leaders in the company. He's been with them for so long. And I just want to say, Darnell, before you dive into that, I just want to say we're very happy to be on your team and be working with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. I feel the same, man. It was like night and day. Comparable to the rooms. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's humbling, guys. It really is, because sometimes, and let me just spend 30 seconds saying this. Sometimes, we assign the wrong words to seasons in our lives. And I used to call in my 20s my season at that time, my season of struggle. Now that I'm a little older, I realized it was my season of preparation. And the struggle was not necessarily that. It was an opportunity for me to never remember or forget where I come from. And so I always remember, because that 4.5, 5 years of what I used to call struggle. And so it reminds me often that I am blessed to be in this position and blessed to have the relationships that I have in my life. And it didn't have to be me. I could have easily seen this opportunity and said, nope, tried other stuff, I'm done. But very grateful that I had my day one here, and like many of you guys, so excited to be able to share this. And thank you guys for your kind words. Honored to have you as a part of the team, and you guys are amazing assets to this Team New Vision family, which our philosophies, by the way, are faith, family, finance, fitness, both mental and physical fitness, and of course, having some fun. All right, so I'm going to run through. This is my wife, by the way. We're married 31 years as of in July, so about a month from now. We have 4 amazing young adults. We're empty nesters now, which is the reason why we moved to Houston. We're like, what do you want to do next, babe? I don't know. Let's go to Houston. So we're just we're empty nesters now, kind of doing our own thing. We worked in retail when I was in college. My wife was in college. We both were working at the same store. And that's how we met, working at this retail store. We got engaged and married while still at the store. And then we got our degrees. And Tracy went on to work at a cable station here in the DC area called BET. And I became the retail manager there. And if you ever worked retail management, you already know my hours. You open up the store when it opened, I closed it when it closed. When people called in sick, I went in. And I'm thinking, no way am I going to do this for the rest of my life. And in retail, you miss out on everything that happens in your personal life on the weekends. And that was my life. And so at 25 years old, I quit my job because I met someone wealthy, and they said one thing to me that caused me to think about life differently. And what they said was, they asked me about retirement. And I was like, I don't know. They said it's 55, which was old back then because I was 25. Now I'm 55, and 55 is not old anymore, Ken. Right? It's just halftime, baby, coming out the locker room, third quarter. But back then it was like double overtime. But he said this to me, guys, and he said, and I'll reveal Legal Shield to you guys, but he said, retirement has nothing to do with age, but everything to do with the amount of reoccurring, predictable cash flow you have coming in. He said, you can retire or spend your life doing whatever you want at any age when you have enough reoccurring, predictable cash flow. No one had ever said that to me in my life, not my teachers, not my parents, and I love my parents. They just didn't teach me that. And I thought, wow, okay, how do I get that? How do I get the reoccurring, predictable cash flow? And that's what led me right where we are today. And so I set a goal to be a millionaire by the age of 30. That was at the age of 25. Don't become impressed by that because I didn't hit the goal. We still made millions in our 30s, but we set the goal, and that's what separated us from the masses. And as Mr. John Malott said, now, before we turned 40, we had 40 people on our team earning six figures. Now that's over 100 people. And so we're really blessed to have a phenomenal group of people who are really like-minded and believe in abundance. And that's a unique, sometimes, characteristic to have, where you truly don't get jealous when someone else is winning, because there is no scarcity in your body. And so I'm truly excited to be a part of a culture like this. So let's get right into what we do. By the way, I only show this slide because sometimes people are like, well, who are the people who are making six figures, right? And so I don't believe you have to spend a lot of time explaining what type of tree you are when you can show your fruit. And so from all walks of life, from Hawaii to Toronto to British Columbia, Canada, to here in DC where I am. So I'm just going to skip some of these slides because you guys are already in the space where you understand the importance of being a part of a network. And so you already know there's three forms of income, right? Trading your time for money, linear or transactional. Leveraged income, also called passive. So you have a team environment. And of course, residual, reoccurring cash flow. And this is a subscription model here. So my wife and I are blessed to have 176,000 paying customers that pay every single month. We can't stop that money if we wanted to. That has nothing to do with the team, nothing to do with the amount of people who are selling every month. That is customers subscribing to the service we'll talk about today. That's why I'm most excited for you guys, because God willing, if you're here 5 years from now, you want a book of business that's continuing to pay for a service they see value in, regardless of the income that they're making. So our company, Legal Shield, our parent corporation is PPLSI, but we're affectionately known as Legal Shield. We've been around for over 50 years. If you've heard of us, stay tuned, because over the next few minutes, you'll see that we're not the same company we even were a year ago. And so we've been around for over 50 years. We have 4 million customers that we protect across the United States and Canada. And if you've ever been to a business networking event and you ask the CEO, how many customers do you have? And they say, oh, I have 5,000 customers. That's impressive. 4.4 million customers, guys, you're doing something right. Our mission and vision is to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every human being deserves. And so what do? We do something called disruptive innovation. That's the space we're in, right? Also coined as digital disruptors, is when you take an existing model and you make it simpler, easier, and more affordable. Just like Sparky AI, right? You take what the average person would spend a lot of time trying to figure out, and you just simplify the bad boy. And that's what we've done here with shopping at the mall. This is, back in the day, if you're my age group, if you wanted to buy something, you went to a mall, right? You want to buy a tractor, you go to John Deere. You want to go to, buy a car, you went to Ford. Like, you had to go to the place. Now everything has changed between Amazon and TikTok Shop and Temu and all kinds of stuff. Like, you don't have to leave the house to order stuff now. Literally, I've had a car shipped to my home without going to the dealership before. They transported and dropped it off. And so, like, times have changed. So same thing with you. If you're my age, you remember Blockbuster. You had to go to a place and rent a video, and it was, late fees and rewind fees. My kids are like, rewind fee? What is rewind? I'm like, 2 arrows in the opposite direction of play. Don't worry about it, right? It's the weirdest thing to explain. But, now it's, you're streaming all over the place, right? You don't have to actually go up to a place and rent a video. My point is, what disruptive innovation is. It's like Uber, what they did to the taxi car and black car industry. My mother said, don't get in the car with strangers. Now we pay strangers to pick us up. How weird is that? But it's disruptive. And so you got to get involved when something's being disrupted. And that's what we've done. We've disrupted the justice system. At $300 an hour, the average person has been priced out of the justice system. It's been a country club we've never had a membership to. We are now the great equalizer. We are leveling the legal playing field, and it feels good to know that I'm giving people access to the very justice system we're supposed to be so proud of. And so this is our preferred plan. It's the most popular plan. So I'm just going to go over this one, but do understand we have all types of plans, rideshare plans and gun owners plans and commercial driver plans. But this one's our preferred legal plan. What is it? It's okay. So imagine being able to tap a button on your phone, talk to your lawyer, hang up, and a bill doesn't show up at the house. This is huge, guys. Like the guy at the gym the other day, he's like, man, he's complaining about his landscaper not coming back out after he'd already paid him. And I was like, dude, did you hit your app, your Legal Shield app? He's like, what's that? I said, I'm gonna tell you after this set. So we finished up. I was like, app right here, do you have it? He's like, no. said, dude, like if you have any situation that's legal, even your landscaper not returning your call, you should tap the app and talk to your lawyer, see what your rights are. He's like, dude, how do I get that? I said, I can send it to you right now. He said, you get paid off of this? I say, this is what I do for a living, man. I told you that a million times. He's like, that's the legal thing. I'm like, yeah, it's the legal thing. And so he's like, dude, I need it. How much is that? I said, it's $1 a day. And I got paid. I got paid $600 at the gym, guys. So did I hard sell them? No, I just listened. And once you know, you can't unknow. Once you hear, you can't unhear. That's what I'm saying. It's just to be able to pick up the phone, get some advice and say, look, I just hired an assistant. Like I have a business plan. So I'm like, should I pay a W-2 or 1099? You know what I mean? So people just don't know. So the family plan, this is what this is, the individual plan. A lawyer writing a letter means a lot more than you and I writing a letter. I've had a cease and desist letter written on my behalf over $92. You may think it's only $92. Yeah, and I would have never called a $300 an hour lawyer for a $92 problem. But they wrote a cease and desist letter. It says you must cease and desist all contact with our client pursuant to the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Doesn't that sound good? Made me sound smart, right? Only reason I know that is because they sent me a copy of the letter, but I never heard from that company again. It was the power of a lawyer writing a letter versus Darnell saying, I don't owe you. My wife and I ordered this custom sofa. It was a rip at the bottom. We didn't notice until like 4 days later. So I called the furniture company. And they're like, well, it says here on delivery that you signed off it looked good. I said, it did look good. It did. I didn't notice it until days later. I said, well, sir, it's not our policy. After 3 days, nothing we can do. I'm like, well, that's not fair. They're like, it's our policy. But just because it's their policy doesn't mean it's the law. So I picked up the phone. I talked to legals here. They said there's 3 types of consumer warranties or laws in the state of Maryland. This one falls under, and they say name some code. We can make a phone call for you. I said, that'd be awesome. The same furniture company guys that said it was nothing they could do. Even the manager says nothing he could do. They called me back and said, Mr. Self, we heard from your lawyer. We want to apologize. We're going to send someone out to see if we can repair that sofa. If not, we'll replace it. Guys, the power my butt would have gone to the Home Depot with some Gorilla Glue and trying to fix the sofa myself, right? But I didn't have to worry about that. It's the power of having access. That's why I love what we do. So there were documents that saved me $10,500 on an HOA situation, homeowners association situation. I bought this lot. The developer decided they weren't going to gate the community anymore, and that was going to be my dream home. I'm like, I wanted to live in a gated community. And so I just built somewhere else, but I kept the lot. About 2.5 years went by. I received a letter from the HOA, Homeowners Association, saying I owe $10,500 in HOA fees. I'm like, dude, it's dirt over there. It's not even a house. Why am I paying $10,000? My lawyers got involved, talked to the lawyer representing that development. He called me back. I'll never forget, I was in Arizona. I was in John Malott's hometown. And my lawyer called me back and said, Mr. Self, we spoke with the lawyers representing that development. Your $10,500 has gone away. I'm like, I was inquisitive, right? So I said, what happened? They said, well, in the fine print, it said 25% of the homes must be up in that development before they are even allowed to start charging any HOA fees. And at the time, there were only 7 homes up out of the slated 100 homes, which is 7%, not 25%. And I guarantee the 7 homes that were up didn't know they didn't have to pay HOA fees yet. My point, guys, is if you don't know your rights, you simply do not have any. So they'll do all these things you can see. I'm not going to bore you to death, but you can see, guys, just it's a huge value just on the consultation alone. But they'll do negotiations with the landlord. They prepare a last will and testament. A lot of people say, I don't have anything to leave. And guys, it's your health directive, right? That's most important, because I've seen siblings no longer speak because a loved one is connected to life support. And one sibling is saying, hey, you don't have the faith. They're gonna come out of this. And the other siblings like, no, they wouldn't want to live like that. Don't let them suffer anymore. Unplug them. No one's going to be right in that situation because no one knows what the person wants because they didn't have a living will. And I know it costs money. It costs hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, depending on where you live, to have a lawyer draw up a last will and testament. We give you one at no cost just because you have access to our service. We update it each year at no additional cost. So now I have 2 grandkids, so I've added my grandkids to it. No cost, guys, just because I'm a member here. Now, the $29.95 plan, if you get that plan, there's no updates with that one, right? The $49.95 plan, which is the one I have, there's a $250 flat fee for revocable trust that comes along with it. So it's like all types of things that you can get, but you have to decide which one fits you or your customers best. And they can just select what they want. Oh, I own a gun. I'm licensed to carry. Oh, click the gun owners plan. Oh, I drive a commercial vehicle. Click. Listen, a commercial driver, they understand their license is their livelihood. They want to click that. So again, they can click on what's best for them. Traffic ticket assistance. My daughter, when she got her ticket in Atlanta, She just graduated from college there, and she had a moving traffic violation by having her phone in her hand. And she tried to explain to the officer that, you know, she had her nav system trying to figure out where she was going. And she's like, look at my tags. They're Maryland. I'm in Georgia. I didn't know. And they were like, doesn't matter. You get a moving traffic violation. The firm in Maryland where we live called a lawyer in Atlanta. The lawyer calls my daughter. She says, is this your first offense? My daughter says, yes. She says, because in the state of Georgia, if you can show the judge that you now have the device that holds your phone on your dash, it's thrown out of court. No points, no fine, court costs, nothing. I would have never known that. And my friends who are lawyers here in DC, they're not licensed to practice law in Georgia. Plus, they don't know every area of law. Like every doctor doesn't know every area of medicine. That's why this works so well. And that's why even lawyers have our services, guys. And they did that for a one-time $79. If they go to court for you for the motor vehicle area, it's a $79 fee. My daughter was back in Maryland. It would have cost you more than $79 to fly her back to Atlanta to represent herself, okay? Property damage assistance, civil trial defense, IRS audit assistance. I was named in the audit, and guess what? I had a tax attorney assist me. Situation turned out a lot differently. The only thing you have to wait 180 days for is the uncontested minor child adoption, name change, divorce, separation, the domestic stuff, right? Prenup, postnup, everything else you can start using right away. And then the moving traffic violations is a 10-day waiting period. So slow down for just 10 days, okay? 24-hour access, 7 days a week in emergency situations. If you're being questioned, detained, arrested, that's to step out the vehicle. And our buddies out on law enforcement, right? But it's, you know, it's a small few to make a lot look bad in any industry. But if you're being questioned, detained, or arrested, or your loved ones who are good kids or grandkids, but right party, wrong crowd, wrong time, you want to make sure they know the script. I like to exercise my Miranda and talk to my lawyer, right? And you have access to that 24 hours a day, guys. So we do all of this. You get a discount on anything that falls outside of the 100% coverage. Your whole family's protected under one plan, which is huge. So my two oldest kids have their own plan, but my two youngest are still covered under my plan. I added my kids to my auto insurance policy. It kept going up. And I've been doing this, guys, since I was 28 years old. I'm 55 years old. No one's ever told me that's too much for a lawyer. $1 a day, you ain't right. How do you sleep at night? No one's ever said that. The only thing they've said to me is, how can you do it for so little? Like, what kind of lawyer can you get for $1 a day? And it's not your dollar, my dollar, but over 1 million people paying $1 a day that allows us to have this shared economy process where the lawyers win. We pay our lawyers from 6 figures to 7 figures a month. The clients win because they don't have to spend $300 an hour for a lawyer. And we win because we're in between the lawyer who has an average of 22 years of experience and the client who says it makes sense. Put them together, we make a lot of money. As I mentioned earlier, we have a portfolio of services that people can click on in your back office or on your website, and they can just add it to their cart. I won't spend a lot of time on the small business plan, but small business owners see this faster than the average person. Why? They know they need trademarks. They know they need a copyright. They realize they haven't updated employee handbook since COVID, right? They realize these situations exist, and then they get to choose, right? So for me, for an example, I have the $99 plan. So that's 3 authorized users, my wife, myself, and my chief commercial officer, right? Who calls on my behalf for everything. So again, so I already knew that. Interstate coverage. Why? Because I do business out of state. So I knew the $99 was a better fit than the $49. So anyway, just you're going to show this to a business owner. It's in your right on your marketing site. They click on which one's best for them, and you get paid for it, guys. Right? I had a rental property where my neighbor's tree fell on my rental property. Well, I called a homeowner's insurance because I'm figuring, well, that's what you do when you have damage to your roof. But my homeowner's insurance says, no, the tree came from your neighbor's yard. Call them. I called my neighbor's homeowner's insurance, and they're like, no, it's our tree, but we're not fixing your roof. Call Legal Shield. They said in the state of Maryland is where the tree is rooted. So call your neighbor's homeowner's insurance and say this. Told me the language. I said it, and guess what? Neighbor's homeowner's insurance took care of it. That was my business plan, okay, my LLC for my rental property. So again, all of this makes sense. I already know that, guys. Our goal is to educate the community, let people know it exists. They get it, you get paid. We've added an identity theft product about 10 years ago because it became the fastest growing crime in the world. We're the most robust identity theft product out there, not because we alert. That's nice. But it's because we have licensed investigators who will go in and restore your identity back to pre-theft status. We monitor everything that matters. Social security number, by the way, my Canadian friends who may be on social insurance number, so forgive me for saying anything like IRS, I know it's CRA, so slightly different vernacular, but we are in the United States and Canada. But just as importantly, as all of these things we monitor, we also give you a VPN, a virtual private network, because you're using a public network when you're at your coffee shop, airport, all the places I'm all the time. And for those who don't know, if you don't have a virtual private network, when you click yes for the public Wi-Fi, you're giving thieves the opportunity to eavesdrop, digitally eavesdrop on every site you're going to, passwords you're putting in. But we're so desperate to get on Wi-Fi, we don't care. So you got to have a VPN, guys. Mine kicks in all the time. And I love it. It'll also let you know if someone's trying to access your information. Sometimes I get these alerts. I'm like, my gosh, if I didn't have this, how would I even know? People, look, there are 8-year-olds who've been a victim of identity theft who don't even know it till they're 22 years old. And then we restore your identity back to pre-theft status. We have a sex offender search. You put the address in. It's a little scary to see, but when you put it in, all these red dots pop up. You can even click and see who it is. Like it's pretty scary, but it's good to know, right? You're moving in a new neighborhood, sending your kids to a new school. It's nice to have all of that. All right, let's get to the money here real quickly. So we have 2 identity theft plans, by the way, a $19.95 plan and a $34.95 plan. We do offer this as an employee benefit, just as a sidebar. So I have colleagues that earn 6 figures a year, and that's what they do. They go into companies and offer this as an employee benefit. So the money part, real quickly, give me 5 minutes to do this and I'll be done. So member perks, we save people. We have 400 vendors to give us a discount. I bought my daughter a Jeep Wrangler, John, Malott, saved $2,300 from the auto buying program. It took me 2 days because I had to go to the dealership. I had to get the VIN number, the VIN number, and then send it back to the auto buying program through member perks. And when I went back to the dealership, it was $2,300 off. Guys, I'm just saying, whether it's buying movie tickets, going to an NFL game, Samsung, I mean, it's there. You're getting a new Costco's membership. Please, please, please. This comes with your membership, your legal plan. When you get that app, look for member perks and just whatever, before you spend another dollar anywhere, at least check and see. There's 400 vendors to give us a discount. And our members are saving a lot of money every month. I know I do. Okay, so check it out. You go rent a car from Avis, it's on there. Everything's there. All right. So let's talk about these 3 ways we get paid. We get paid all 3 ways, and I'll be done. It's real simple. Here's how it works. As an independent associate, we all started as an independent associate. The company's going to send you $80 the next day. We get paid every day. $80 direct deposit to your account when someone gets this plan, the $37.95 plus the $34.95. If someone gets a business plan, you get paid more, but I'm going to keep it simple for you guys. If someone just gets the legal plan, you get paid about half. Somebody has a gun owner's plan, you're going to get paid more. So it all depends on what plans they click on in your back office and goes to their cart. So as an associate, $80. Get your first 5 customers, you made 80 times 5, that's $400. Guys, I've never seen this type of upfront money for this little amount that's going into the company. After your 5th customer, you're now making $100 on your 6th customer, 7th customer, 8th customer, 10 customers. And look, I already know you know 10 people who need this. You know why? 7 out of 10 people that just live in America don't have a last will and testament. So most of the folks you know don't have a last will and testament. They say, man, it makes sense to me. I want it. That's $100 at the senior associate level. Now you can move up one of 2 ways. You can get 5 customers or you can get 3 in 1. 3 customers, and one of your customers inevitably will say, how much did you get paid when you shared this with me? He's like, oh, I made $80 or whatever it was. Like, can I do this too? Yeah. So now you have 3 in 1. Now you're a senior associate. You do it in your first 20 days, $200 bonus. That's a virtual training class you want to go to, and they will pay you the extra $200. Go to an in-person class, it's a $400. Why? We know if you're in person, you're not going to be pretending like you're paying attention like some of you may be doing right now. So it's $400, right? So it's nice. It's nice extra. That's bonus, but you don't have to go fast. You can go slow if you want, but just so you know that's available. Now this, I won't bore you, but it goes all the way up to over $416. Like my oldest son is an executive director, $416. I'm like, son, I don't care if 20 people have to go to your website for 2 to say yes. You make $800 a day off the service, guys. We're not talking about people joining the business. That's off the service. But let's just say you're busy. At the manager level, watch how these overrides work. You're at 132. I'm at 80. So let's say 132 whenever you share the service, but you're busy all week long. Darnell's on your team. I'm at $80. Whenever I make 80, you make the difference, which is $52. 80 subtracted from your 132, $52. So think about this. I get 10 customers. I make 800. You make 500. And I did the work. You made that with the money you didn't have, with the time you didn't have, with the people you didn't know, with the effort you didn't put in. That's why this works so well. It's called a differential compensation plan. Now, remember, you can't get 10 at your first level. You would have already moved up, but that was an example. I'll just give you my example real quickly. I introduced my buddy Mike Humes. He delivered mail for a living. When Mike Humes made $100,000, he quit his job as a mailman. The company paid me the difference that year was $30,000. That's when my wife and I got it, Ken. I was like, hold up. So if 10 people on our team make six figures, they're going to pay me 30,000 times 10, which they did for 300,000. When 20 people on our team were making six figures, they sent me 600,000. And it continued to go up. That's how we started making $1 million a year. Not because we stepped on other people and kept them down, but because he lifted other people up and bought them with us. That's all upfront money, guys. We make a residual income the 13th month. We pay you another 10% of what we paid you up front. I don't need to show these slides. This is just, us traveling across the world to Morocco, to Iceland, to the Olympics. And as many of you all know who travel, today's world is antiquated thinking to think you got to be at a location to earn income. And no matter where you are in the world, you can get paid. This is a good month for you guys to start building your business, because our next all expense paid trip is to the Dominican. We take 700 people. Right now, we have an unlimited amount of people that can earn the trip, and what you do this month counts. And so let's get you up and running. Last slide is just you. It's you getting started, right? I think most of you, if not all of you, already are part of Legal Shield. So it's $49, if not $49 to start your own Legal Shield business, work from anywhere. Set flexible hours. The only ongoing expense is $24.95 a month. Guys, you want to have this. It's optional. I think it should be mandatory because it includes your enrollment site, right? It does everything for you. So I'm excited for you guys. I'm looking forward to working with you all. I'm looking forward to celebrating you all. And I can't wait to hear your testimony. I can't wait to see some of our in-person events. So this is the opportunity that we're unveiling for you today. Legal Shield, welcome to the team. Welcome to the community. I can't wait to work with you guys. All you have to do is use the services yourself so you can believe in it. Please, please, please get the services. Otherwise, you got to say, I heard, I think. That guy from Maryland who talks really fast said it, but you'll never be able to say, I know. And then allow us to help you get those deposits as quickly as possible, because we do get paid every day. All right, guys, back over to you, Ken. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, Darnell, I just have one question I'd like you to make a comment on.
Sure.
Because there's other legal plans out in the marketplace where there's a list of attorneys. Can you kind of contrast that model with the open panel versus the closed panel model?
Yep, absolutely. So we're the only closed network of law firms that exists, meaning that we know how long you kept on hold. We know how quickly law firm gets back to you. Our law firm get a report card at the end of every month. If they get a 2% failure ratio, we can take the monies we pay them to another firm. There's no one else like that. Open means that you select a lawyer from a list, but there's no monitoring. There's no service level agreement there. And so there's no way for us to know, or for anyone to know, how quickly someone gets back to you. Maybe they can send you a survey and see if you had a great experience. And so that's why unequivocally we continue to get better, because we know if you have an issue with a certain area of law, we know if it's a law firm, we know, right? So we categorize it all. We get to see it all, even though we can't listen to the phone calls because of client privilege. We know all the different things that happen in your engagement, and that way we get better.
So from that standpoint, Darnell, my opinion, and there's no one even close to Legal Shield when it comes to legal service plans. Because there's no quality control. I mean, there's no
That's exactly right.
There's not a big financial incentive or reward or penalty for that law firm, because if they get a few customers a month, it's not a big deal for them. But when you're paying, if you're the law firm and you're receiving, like you said, 100,000, seven figures a year or 7 figures a month, which several of our law firms are being paid, that's a lot of motivation, right?
Yeah, look, I'm Maryland. We have 40,000 customers, which is less than 1% market penetration. And it's that way in most states, by the way, in provinces of Canada. So they get a third of every membership. Let's call it the cheapest membership, $30. A third of 30 is $10. $10 times 40,000 customers in Maryland is $400,000 a month. We're paying that firm. That's better than trying to split it amongst all these different lawyers. So that means that lawyer's there to like, hey, look, I'm picking up this phone for $400,000 a month. And that's with 1% market penetration. They understand what's going to happen when we get to 5%. And I know with the help of this Sparky team, it's about to go on it's about to go to a whole nother level. So I'm excited for you guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Darnell. Hey guys, put some fire in the chat for Darnell. He's got like 8 meetings like this today.
I know. I got one more I got to jump on now, man. God bless you guys. If you guys need anything, let me know. Steve, good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, you too, my friend.
All right, guys. God bless.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Darnell.
Right.
Take care. Hey, John, let's bring you back in here. Would you like to add anything to what Darnell talked about? I mean, you were with Legal Shield a long time ago. You came back many decades later. Why?
Yeah, it's obviously I'm not as smart as Darnell self. I left and told him I told him he was crazy for sticking around. Um, you know, I had shiny object syndrome, like a lot of us do, and I bought into a bunch of hype and I left. But here's what's crazy, and this is what forced me to come back. I was gone for almost 15 years, and you know what never stopped? My check, my residual income. Now it's funny. My very first customer was my dad, who only got it because he felt bad for me. He was like, if this kid don't get a win soon, he's gonna do something bad. So it took me 6 months. My dad got the service. He only did it at the time because he wanted to help me. 30 years later, my dad still has the service, and he just bought an RV. He just bought a recreational vehicle, and by having the lawyers get involved, when he was at the dealership, he told me he saved $2,500, something in the contract that he didn't catch. He said he would never be without it. I'll tell you one more story. I have an ex-wife. We don't like each other a lot. She has a boyfriend she's had forever. But way back in the day, I got him a legal plan. Now he's had a lot of issues over the years, financially, up and down on this roller coaster. And I looked on my thing, and this guy, again, almost 25 years later, he still has the legal plan. And he told me straight up, he says, I've had periods where I didn't even have my car insurance. He said, I've had life insurance sporadically. I don't have health insurance. He said, but I will never, ever be without this. He said, he's a supervisor for a construction company. His driver's license is a big deal. He says, without this, it wouldn't be. I can go on these stories. So this is why I've done other things, and I have not, and we've done it big. I made, personally, I made $30 million in commissions just in the company that you and I met in secret. I was the #1 income earner there. But guess what I don't have from them?
Residual.
I have no residual, which residual is nice. And Darnell summed it up. It's that reoccurring revenue, man. There's something about knowing I can pretty much tell you what my check is going to be if I do nothing next month. I could live a pretty decent life just on next month's check from what I started almost 30 years ago. And that's why I like today, because there is so much going on, right? I mean, we're getting thrown everything. I don't know what's what anymore. It's getting hard to tell who's real, who isn't. I can't, like AI. I'm seeing women on Instagram that you find out they're not even real. These are AI generated models. Like everything is different. So I like the idea of having something solid, sustainable. And the last thing I'll tell you, another reason, because I have been involved in a couple of startups that didn't really kind of do so well. And I put a lot behind it, and they flopped. What I like about Legal Shield is that every quarter they're generating tens of millions in positive cash flow every quarter. When I was first with them, they were the #1 performing company on the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, they were on every list. It was incredible. So we got to see all the numbers, and now you see those millions of members that keep paying. When people get the plan, they keep the plan, and then they inevitably tell others about the plan, and it's become a perpetual money machine for some of us. A stable machine, because this thing ain't shutting down in the next 5 years. I think that the need for these services, because people just ask yourself a question. Are people taking advantage of people more or less today? I mean, it's gotten way worse. It's like everybody, grannies are out there trying to steal from you these days, man. So it's like, it makes a lot of sense. And because of that, it's making dollars. And it's so incredibly simple, because you guys already put trainings up. There's so much more of that stuff. And we've got people like Darnell self who can communicate it very simply. And I just steal what he says. I just say, look, I just take that presentation or what we'll be able to duplicate inside of Sparky, where this stuff is just packaged, just pre-packaged and ready to go. That to me is impressive. And I think combining this high tech and the high touch together with a stable company and along with the other services you guys provide, it's a pretty exciting time, man. It really is.
Awesome. Well, that's quite a testimony where you were gone for what, 15 years, and you come back, and that whole time your money's still coming in. That's impressive.
Hey, we plan on being around for another 20, 30, 50 years, building a team in one place and being able to monetize that team through multiple streams of income. And we really pride ourselves on picking really strong companies that we feel are going to be around for a long time. I mean, what's your thoughts about Legal Shield making the stick?
Yeah, I call it my number one. I call it my cash flow machine. I tell this is how I pitch it. I tell people, look, I got this boring little service. Very few people know it exists. Everybody should have it. It saved me a small fortune. And I say, rich people don't need therapists because they have lawyers. We need therapists and Prozac because we're dealing with a bunch of nonsense we're dealing with people taking advantage of us, not doing what they're supposed to do. Legal Shield, look, when the furniture company doesn't do what they're supposed to do, the car dealership doesn't do what they're supposed to do. Somebody I did business with, they didn't live up to their end of the bargain. You think I argue with them? You think I'm arguing with the guy at the Marriott Hotel who messed up my bill? I'm like, it's no problem. I'm stress free, baby. Guess what I do? I grab my phone. I talk to my lawyer. They handle the stress. Look, my hair color's starting to come back a little bit because I'm going stress free, baby. And here's the deal: people are so stressed. Imagine providing a service that takes stress off of people's households. You know what I'm saying? That's around the state. They just got to try it. And here's the best part, and the reason why I believe they're going to be around another 50 years, because we're encouraging people to use it. If 7 out of 10 Americans do not have a will in place, and we would all argue, especially if you have kids, it's a responsible thing to do. We probably should do that. But why is 7 out of 10 people don't? Because it costs money. It's the reason why we don't exit term. I never thought about it. My dad, when he was working at the steel mill, he wasn't calling his attorney on the weekends, having little, big word conversations together. You know what I'm saying? It's like that was just unheard of. We just took our lumps and we went on with it. We don't have to do that anymore. And we shouldn't do it because for $37, I mean, come on now. How many people have a shirt in your closet you haven't ever worn? Your wife has shoes you bought her several times. She ain't never worn. Cost more than $37. I mean, the big bang for the buck. Bring me something else. And the other day, I wrote that the plan that Darnell Self showed that it's $37.95, and then it has the $30 identity theft. It was about $70. I don't know if there's any other company. Maybe you guys know because you guys see probably more in depth than a lot of companies. But collect 70. The company paid me $416 the next day. Someone said to me, "I don't know if I can trust the company." I'm like, listen. I always say Sparky. Listen, Sparky.
He's done that for years. His third parties. Welcome home, John. Welcome home.
Welcome home. That's right.
Sparky's been looking for me. Look, the question isn't if you can trust the company. They paid you more the next day. The question is, can we trust you? Can you write some decent business? Can you do this with integrity? And I loved hearing you. We've already had this conversation, but I love you talking about integrity because that's the key. The key isn't just to get someone to get that fast cash, which I don't think there's another company that pays faster and more on the same volume. But what if we get good, solid people, not a bunch of it's not about, you're committing crimes, you should have this service. That's not what this is about. This is about good people living their lives. Let's get them some peace of mind. Let's give them the service. And they keep it. I got proof of it. No one can tell me nothing because I was gone for almost 15 years. And the company never called me like other companies did and said, "Hey, by the way, we just put your check on hold because you're not doing whatever inside the deal." I didn't do nothing. And they wanted to pay me. and that I liked, that I loved. And I brought customers. And the right thing to do is keep paying me on the customers that I brought. And that's what they're doing now. Because of that, we just got back together. Like, Ken, Steve, we're kind of putting the band back together, right? So
yeah, that's right.
We know it. This is like riding a bike. This is not complex at all. Let the lawyers do the complex stuff. You guys have built the system, the marketing, all these pieces to the puzzle. Let's just get it in front of more people. People need this, and I think this is the best way to finally get the word. I have a wife who's a little younger than me these days, and some people like that, some people don't like it, but that's not the point. The point is, I could not believe all of the people she's in her 30s, all of these people that are in her age group, like none of them ever heard of it. You've never heard, I'm telling you, go just survey, just do a survey. Ask 10 people if they've ever heard of this service. And you're going to be shocked on how few people have heard of it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It can't, it's because we left for a while. Had we stayed for that time, the whole world would have known about it. So I'm going to call them and say, thank God we're back, baby. Thank God.
That's what, hey, by the way, John, I've had my membership. Now, I stopped working it in 2000. I came back and did a little push in 2014. That entire time, I've had my membership. My wife and I've kept our membership since 1998.
Wow. So
Okay.
you're the great example.
When you guys understand the power that this gives you, the peace of mind, and there's nothing out there like this. There's other legal plans, but as we talked about, they're open panel. There's a list of attorneys. There's no real accountability and incentives. Legal Shield has built the only mousetrap like this. There's nothing even, in my opinion, even in second place. I mean, but yeah, that's, people keep it for a long time. I mean,
Yep.
my hours have built up. I think I have 300 and some odd hours. If someone wants to sue me, I have that prepaid for before I have to spend anything.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've looked at my benefits, but that's powerful, guys. You know, I don't want to let that go.
what's interesting about your situation is I didn't even know that there were other plans. The only time I ever heard of someone bring up another plan was in an employee benefit meeting. And it was a human resource person. And of course, we got, when we put them both on the table, we were the obvious choice. But I never hear it. Like when I'm out and about, first off, people say I didn't even know anything like this ever existed. They have no idea. And we just shine in that area. So it's kind of cool. Looks like Carlos is looking for a different website. I'm looking at the chats. Like Carlos.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to bounce him.
Hey, John, a different subject, because you know, as we know, Darnell's tight with the CEO, the new CEO, and you know, you've had a lot of conversations. Can you talk about? And I want to show the bonuses that are available here, guys. The big reasons why we wanted to add this now to our team is you heard the compensation, right? You collect 80, and depending on your level, you can get paid, you know, $300-400 paid every single day, guys. That's huge. But when I was working Legal Shield, they didn't have any of these bonuses. I want you guys to understand the significant bonuses. And John, you were telling me that the company had a bunch of money millions of dollars sitting in the bank collecting interest, and they decided there's a better use for that. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, that was interesting. I was fortunate that, well, I asked about the new CEO because it's a new CEO that came in with a whole new vision of what this should be and where it should go, and to allow, you know, something like this, because before it was such a conservative company. I mean, they had their lane, and that was it. And you had to stay in that lane for obvious reasons. I mean, they dot their I's, they cross their T's. That's what they were supposed to do. And that's what generated and created this massive cash flow machine that they've created. But they've been generating, like I said, tens of millions of dollars in positive cash flow. So after all the bills are paid every quarter, this is a company that's generating millions every quarter. But that money, in a lot of the leadership's opinion, should have been used for different things. And what they decided to do about a year ago is to start taking that excess cash and start paying it to the field. Number one, you see in the bonuses, it's very rare where you see a company paying out. Look, I'm bringing brand new people in their first week, they're making $1,200 right out of the gate. I mean, $1,200, $2,000. My good friend Howard Smith in St. Louis, Missouri has been with me for a long time. And he went to the executive director position in his first 2 weeks. He's having $1,000 days, $2,000 days, like clockwork. And a lot of that's coming from these bonuses. There's bonuses when you help people go. They're paying bonuses for helping someone to get through training because they believe a well-trained associate is going to be a highly paid training. They're paying them when they do minimal deal. You can get 3 memberships and 1 associate. There's another bonus. Then when you get in these executive director ranks, by the way, Darnell only showed the top, or not, I mean, the middle of the compensation plan. Ken, do you realize that, like the position you were in, gold, you start looking at the extra money they're putting on top of that when you're helping to create leadership? Darnell self called me the other day. He said, "Do you know?" He said, "Bro, do you know you got a $15,000 bonus coming to you?" I didn't even know. I had no idea. What took us 3 years to do, we were able to do in 3 months coming back into the company. And again, they're using I believe that they're using the money correctly. It's what I was telling them. Have matching pay. So if I do the work, that's great. But if I help someone duplicate what I'm doing, it'd be nice to match that. And yet you're putting up on the screen. These turn into significant incomes. And I saw it when you see it on paper, it was great. Where it got really exciting is when your brand new associate who's never built anything like this before is saying, "John, I just got a $400 bonus. I don't even know. There's an extra $4 on my commission check. I don't even know how I got it." And I said, "Well, don't worry, because a direct deposit is yours to keep now." But it's when you start to look at all. What happened to me is I got caught in the sauce. There were so many bonuses. I just stopped talking about it. I just started sending people these slides and saying, "Look, go through this. You can start to understand that whenever you do something, you're going to get paid. And then there's going to be a bonus for it. And if you do it quickly, there's another bonus. But if you teach someone how to do exactly what you did, they're going to get that same bonus. But the company is now giving you a bonus for showing people how to do that. In some cases, they're matching that bonus. So you start looking at when someone goes out and they make $900, they're paying out another $300, $600, $600, $300 in the compensation plan. It just depends on where you are inside of there. And in a couple of instances, I was collecting 2 or 3 of those because I was the next person, and the next 2 ranks were not filled yet. So it can become significant very, very quickly. And you haven't even showed the executive director bonuses that where it's here's $2,500, here's $5,000, here's $10,000. Just making a run to the platinum level, I think we figured out was an extra $50,000 in extra bonuses. So someone could come in here on a part-time basis and really create a full-time income stream, like $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month. Not that I'm telling everyone they can do that. I'm just saying it's very possible, and we're seeing it right out of the gate because the bonuses add so much to an already compelling and exciting compensation plan.
Hey, John, I want to talk about the big bonuses, but I just want to back up just really quick here, guys. So you go out and get the 3 memberships and 1 recruit that also has a membership. It's very attainable. So if you go through the fast start class, you do it in 20 days. So let's say you paid the $80 to get started. Okay. You do that, you already have $200 coming back. If you went to a physical training, it's $400 coming back. Okay. So that's, everyone's positioned to be able to get any money they put out, quite quickly. You advance to manager. We have several people this week that'll be doing that. You do that in 45 days, guys. That's another $500. So when you look at the little cost along the way, guys, just get a little success, and you're going to have all that back plus a lot of friends. So you want to get fast start qualified. You want to get the manager. And when you do that, like John said, you're going to earn the qualifier bonus column. But if you're the sponsor, you get a match for everyone you help, getting to senior associate within that period of time is called fast start qualified. So if you help somebody get fast start qualified, they either made 200 or 400, you made 100 or more, if depending on where you're at in the compensation plan. So there's all that upfront money, guys. That's in addition to the commission. So when people ask, well, why'd you guys choose Legal Shield at this time, guys? This is massive money. The way I look at it is like the $1 million investor that says, hey, I'm willing to put millions of dollars in Prosperity Highway Global to fuel your success. I mean, it's like a blank check. And that's why we chose this, guys. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, but everyone can identify with that. But John, let's talk about these other bonuses.
Yeah, these get exciting. These were the things that we were talking about with the company many, many years ago, but they weren't ready yet. They weren't there. And the leadership, had to change in order for them to open up the checkbook. And that's exactly what's happening. They're taking that money, and Ken and Steve, you guys know this. If you take care of your field, if number one, you take care of the brand new person, make sure the brand new person has something to show. Like if I'm doing some work and I'm getting, nickels and dimes, sooner or later, my spouse is going to be like, why are you putting the time in there? Even though I know the promise of the future. And that's sometimes the challenge in our profession. It's like, okay, I've got to stay in the game long enough to get to the big money. Legal Shield caught on pretty quickly. If we can get some good money in someone's hand right away, what do we call it? The belief check. What's going to happen? Your belief's going to go up. But not only your belief, it's the people that you're coming home to every day, or the people you're leaving behind or taking time away from to build something like this. So all of a sudden they're seeing it. Now you got the whole crew behind you. And we use a lot of these things. Like my wife and I's wedding anniversary is coming up on Sunday. And while we're in here, my wife is sending me Sunday spa stuff. So, we're taking some of this. We know there's some of this Legal Shield money that's sitting in the account that we'll use to do, spa days and things like that. So we have fun with it. When we start looking at what happens when you become a leader that's developing leaders. Now this is a skill set. And I love that you guys are teaching this and you understand it. You start to help other people create leadership. It's like, I don't want the business to grow because of me. I want the business to grow in spite of me. But in the beginning, there's things I got to do to push that forward. And you guys have a system that really, I can't wait to see what happens in a year from now when these bonuses are being released and it's happening automatically because of this system. It's going to be very interesting to see and incredible. But you start looking, just getting into, like I said, Darnell Self only showed up to executive director when he showed the compensation plan. That's about the middle of the plan. Most companies only show you what Captain Kirk on the Enterprise could make. You know what I mean? It's like we're supposed to be fired up because the one guy, and then you know what I'm saying? I've been in companies like, okay, not once I knew better, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm probably not that guy, or it's going to take a while to get there. But I love that we're only showing up to the middle of the compensation plan when we do the presentations. But then we show, here's where you can start to dream big. If you take on a leadership role and you start to actively participate in your business and you start to look to develop good people and good leaders, you get to the executive director. Just for getting to the executive director, now that's a $2,500 bonus. You're already making, just do the math on the commissions. You're already potentially at executive director. We got executive directors having six-figure type incomes at the middle of the plan. Bronze is just saying, hey, I helped somebody else become an executive director. You do that, that's an extra on top of everything else, $5,000 bonus. By the way, they've extended this because this was happening last year. They just extended it again going into this new year. So these are extra on top of everything. You can see the numbers.
By the way, John, so we're helping you go platinum this month, I believe.
Yeah, we're well, I'm pretty excited about that. So I let you guys
So here's what you pick up, guys, on the way. These are cumulative, right? You get to senior director, $1,000 bonus, executive, $2,500. Some people will do that in the same month. Okay. You go to the next level, a $5,000 bonus, the next level of 10, next level of 15, next level platinum. I think we're going to have a lot of our team get there in 90 days. Okay. That's why we're doing this, guys. With this machine is this machine really reaches its potential. And very quickly, we're going to have a lot of people going up executive, up to platinum, but now it gets even funner. So get to platinum, that's like $55,000 in bonuses on top of all your commissions, guys. So but here's where it gets fun. The match. So when you're, like Zig Ziglar says, you can have anything in life that you want if you help enough other people get what they want, right? So we're helping our team follow us. So if you're an executive, you get a 20% match on your team's bonus. If you're bronze, you get another 20%, a total of 40%. So you get to platinum, you're making 100% match off your team. So imagine you get to platinum, 55,000 in bonuses plus all your commissions, and your team's stepping up the ranks, and you're matching whatever imagine John matching 10, all of these bonuses times 10 people. I mean, that can get kind of fun.
You got a chance to watch Darnell and Tracy Self grab what was the check? $330-some thousand just in bonuses. We watched them, and I don't know. There was an army of people that walked across that stage with bonuses from $10,000 to over $300,000. I mean, that's impressive and it's significant, and that's why I'm here, and that's why this is where I'm focusing my attention. And by the way, congratulations to you guys, because I'm getting some of the credit for it. In the back office, there's a recruiting board, and you guys are dominating that board right now, and you haven't even officially launched. So
Yeah, baby, come on. We just got started. We haven't even got started. We're just announcing the company today.
hey, look how great I am, guys. Look how great.
Well, strap in, brother. Strap in. 'Cause
Hey, I wanted to share this point real quick, guys. So in your back office right now, you click on click on the legal tab, and it doesn't say company number 5 anymore. It says the legal. You go inside, you see everything about Legal Shield. So we have all of this is in your back office. I encourage you to look it over. There's a video. It's about a 30-minute training video that goes over this. But I did want to point this out. So Scott Gordon sent this video here. I'm not going to play it. I just want to show the picture.
Guys, today I'm going to show you the most incredible.
Okay, so this is Darnell Self's sponsor. Okay, so Darnell Self picked up his $1.5 million ring. Okay, huge organization. His sponsor is Brian Carruthers. He picked up his $2 million ring. What that means is that's what they made in 12 months. Okay, that's the kind of power, leadership that we have here. You have the number 1 and number 2 leaders in the company are right above John, right? So we're connected to the biggest and the best in the company. I just wanted to share that. But anyway, back to you, John. I think I interrupted you, but I wanted to share those points.
I think you hit on all the key points, and once you get in the game and you start to click around, you start to see. Once you meet some of the people, you mentioned Brian Carruthers. Brian Carruthers was the best man at my wedding. He wrote the book "Build an Empire," all about how to build in this profession. I just again think that what you guys are doing, tying this high tech and along with the high touch, those two together have always been powerful. But you guys have done. You're taking the high tech to another level where I don't care if you're the biggest introvert on the planet. You guys have built a system. You know what I mean? Like the school teacher or the person who says, I'm not a salesperson, whatever. I was a janitor. I was not a salesperson, but I was hungry. I wanted my kids to eat. I wanted my family to eat. And I knew the path I was on. I was going to have to get out of my comfort zone in one form or another. When I look at what you guys have built, and thank you for having Eduardo kind of walk me through some of the stuff, I'm like, look, we used to say all the time, like, what is the meaning of a no-brainer? Like you can take your brain out and it's still, you guys have built a system that's kind of a no-brainer. Like you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot inside. And again, I can tell you for a fact, there's a lot of fear for people. I just saw on CNBC yesterday, they talked about like 60% or maybe 70% of white collar jobs that they predict will disappear because of artificial intelligence. 60-70% of especially entry level white collar jobs. That has always weighed on me. I've never really had a job. I was a janitor at one time, and that was the last of my jobs, and I got into this profession and it saved my life. But think of all the people that are nervous about being displaced by this technology, but they can participate. You guys have built a platform that I'm like, if anyone asks me, look, I'm in AI. I'm in it with both feet because of Ken and Steve. Like you guys built it, you put the time and energy in it, but I'm gonna act as if it's my own. Like this is my shit. I'm in AI, people. I don't know about you. I ain't worried. I'm in this. I'm in deep with my brothers. We're going at this thing. Like, or you can be left behind that. But I don't. It's up to you. We've always offered people the opportunity. Some people get hung up. Oh my God, it's a pyramid or like ignorant stuff. They don't know what that means. But I never worried about it because we're in the sorting business, not the convincing business. I think you guys got the best sorting tool that I've seen in my 30 years in the profession. And that's why we pushed so hard to make sure that Legal Shield was part of it and they understood it, because I think it's a massive win-win for everybody involved. But the biggest winners are going to be when we start seeing, the managers popping like crazy and those bonuses flying through and people are saying, hey, man, I got this happened because of this, or my life has changed because of that. That's what's always drove me in this profession, even after we had millions of dollars in the bank account already.
Yeah, well said, John. By the way, I've done more flying. I had a family thing in California wedding, and then the trip that Steve and I took. So this is an illustration on my mind. You know, you're going through these long airports, and you can walk on the regular floor, or you can get on that moving sidewalk, right? And these bonuses are there, and people in Legal Shield are picking them up left and right. I mean, I couldn't believe all the rings that people are earning with Legal Shield at the convention. I mean, it was amazing how many people were making 50,000 the first 90 days, 120 days. The six-figure ring, you know, the $100,000 ring in 6 months. That's without this machine, guys.
In t-shirts and ball caps and walking across the stage, getting 50 grand. Yeah.
They're accomplishing it without this machine. Imagine what happened last time 8 years ago when we brought our team in. Yeah, we went straight all over the leaderboard, and all the people in Utah, other leaders in Utah is like, well, I guess you guys are back, aren't you? So, you know, it's hard to hide. You know, we will dominate the leaderboard. Our team, and by the way, anyone in Legal Shield can plug into this, and we'll help them too. We want to be a blessing to Legal Shield and help them go get the next million and the next million and the next million. But it's just amazing what people are earning without this machine, guys. And what an incredible match. I mean, literally, there's no place out there where we can bring in $80 and get paid $400 plus all these bonuses on top of that. It's crazy, guys. But they have the millions of dollars sitting there. They're willing to invest in their team. So it made sense to me. Well, if we're part of their team and they're willing to invest millions of dollars in us, would that not make sense? And I think it makes sense.
That's why I'm really big about protecting the goose that lays the golden eggs. You know, we're very protective of the company. That's why I'm always saying, you know, I don't know if we can trust you, but we can certainly trust the company. And let's take care of the goose that's laying the golden eggs. And you guys have a system. Yeah, again, all you got to do is go in the back office of Legal Shield and click on the Build Better recruiting deal, and it shows you. And my name is taking credit because I'm the executive director right now until Ken displaces me this month. But you can see it. It's very clear what's happening. It's and we haven't even launched. And that's why I'm telling people, and because you guys did say you're open to other people in the company, that is also unusual. It's usually if a team has their system, they have their training, they hold it like this. Nobody else is getting access. And that creates frustration. It creates animosity. Because if we all win, what do they say? All ships rise with the tide. I think there's a big win for everybody here. And you got the technology is undeniable. We're seeing it without even the launch. The amount of people you can get in front of, and everybody's looking for something. Everybody's scared. Everybody's uncertain. They're looking for something like this. And I only wish that I would have been with you guys programming this stuff and putting it all together. Actually, it looked like this had I did it. So maybe it's
trust me, you probably wouldn't want to been involved.
You could take all the credit. No
grueling hours,
yeah, you could just say, I'll have my people call your people, and we'll.
That's right.
I like to wait till it's done and then just take credit for all the work that was done. That's a much
beautiful. Yeah.
You know, on top of having the technology, John, we are a marketing machine. I mean, we're spending, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month advertising across social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, on Yahoo, on Microsoft, on Bing. And, you know, like we cracked the code in advertising, network marketing. And we're funneling all those people, millions of people a week are seeing our ads and clicking on them. Millions.
By the way, just a quick add on that, Steve, didn't mean to interrupt, but I want to tag in on that is we had a great meeting with our primary lead generator, Ron, this week. And after he sent us a text, and I'm like, wow, guys, 6 months ago when you typed in Google Sparky AI, now there's somebody that's ahead of us, okay, but we were nowhere to be found, not even on page 1. I think you had to get to page 2. And Ron said, oh my gosh, I just checked this out. There's that Sparky that we need to replace, and with your guys' help, we'll do it. But below that, the next 30 videos was us. Okay, so what we're doing, guys, it's building and it's building and it's building.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, we're just funneling all of those folks into a system that allows them to dream again and allows them to utilize AI in a plug and play, out of the box way and plug into companies like this. That's why we're so excited to join forces with you and Darnell and Legal Shield because, I mean, you guys make us look good. And we're not allergic to money. I mean,
hey, John, we're both kind of re-engaging. So, guys, to our team, official apology. There's things I didn't know, and during this launch, I didn't get the information out there quick enough. But if you go there now, click on the tab. I encourage you, go watch the video, look over that information, and get informed. But one of the things I learned is if you need to know more, you can call the company. Okay. You could ask them and then you could talk to them and they'll answer your questions. The other thing is when you're getting your back office, in the, what it starts with the E. So what's that called?
E-service. Well, it's not called e-service anymore. It's
not enhanced. So sorry, there's a certain word.
and we're just getting. You can tell we're just getting started.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blanket.
They did change the names from what they used to be.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, so you got the regular genealogy, but then there's a button where it gives you a lot more reports and so forth. Anyway, there's a chat there.
Yeah.
Okay. So any question you guys have, just go in your back office and you can chat with the company and they'll answer all your questions. Okay. It took me a week to find that one out. So
hey, you guys, why I got you guys here, can you guys just talk about real quick, when you're purchasing, let's say you sign up and you just get the website. Okay, and then you realize, man, I need to get commission qualified. I need, I want to get these bonuses. And you go in to buy a legal plan or upgrade your legal plan. I ran into this and it was really an eye opener for me. But can you guys just talk about the best way to do that? I mean, we're not supposed to buy a plan from ourselves, right?
No, you really, the system is not set up that way. It's supposed to be, if I introduce Ken gets the plan from me. Ken introduces Steve, you get the plan from him. The business builder, I have it, like I've been copying and pasting this. I don't know how you guys are doing it inside the system, but I tell everybody grab the business builder because it handles everything in one swoop. It's the plan, all the back office stuff for the website, all the things that we talked about. It that's the one. Ideally, people start with, but sometimes if they're not getting that information, they'll start going down here and they'll start piecing it together.
Yeah, I was talking with Darnell before the meeting and about this, and some of our leaders didn't know. One of our leaders bought a membership and didn't know that they were not in the business.
Yeah.
One of our other leaders got in the business but didn't know they didn't have a membership. Okay, so it's just we need to have the best way to make sure that people know. So you come in, you do the business builder. Now, if you
and then
so you click on add to cart and you can go ahead and get your memberships. But there's different ways to do it. If you come up here and do become an associate and then you click on join my team for the 49, you go ahead and answer the 2 quick questions. And over here, see what's happening is people are paying the 49. They don't realize that's just half the job. Hey, you want to get a membership. You want to get a legal plan. By the way, there's about 7 states that are licensed. And if you can't get a legal plan, then get the identity theft plan. If that's the only one you can get. And the list of states is in the back office, by the way, there. And that's the other thing is when we launched, I didn't have the up-to-date list. I apologize. We do have the accurate list there now as far as the United States. But I think some people were not hitting continue shopping. So rather than coming up here at the top, you want to come down to the business builder and click on add to cart, and then it has your memberships there. Anyway, we'll have a tutorial on that, guys, but just know this. Yeah, you don't buy the membership from yourself. If you went ahead and got the business and you realize you didn't get a membership, then go back to your sponsor's site and go ahead and sign up for the legal plan or for the identity theft if you're in a licensed state. but you want to be in both because you want to pick up the fast start bonuses, the manager bonuses. You want to match your team with that. And you need to have a legal service plan if you're going to get those bonuses as well.
Yeah.
Does that answer the question there, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I was in there, and sorry, we got some Yahoo on our chat, logging in as different names and stuff and doing all kinds of weird stuff. So I'm working on that, but sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, so I was, it was an eye opener for me because I needed to go in and renew my plan. I had one from a long time ago, but it wasn't active, and so I wasn't even qualified. And so I'm like, okay, and I'm on the phone with Ken on Zoom, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna log into my account, and so I can go, where do I go to go buy this plan? And I'm thinking, I need to go to my site, my back office to go purchase a product. And Ken's like, no, you got to go to my link. And I'm like, what do you mean I got to go to your link? And so it was kind of an eye opener for me. And I just wanted to bring that out. And we want to continuously talk about that, you guys, you really need to go back to your sponsor's link to, if you're going to upgrade your plan, because it's just not going to work otherwise.
I mean, you can get, if you do the business builder, you can go through and get it all done right there. But if you end up realizing you didn't do one or the other, then go back on the top and just do the thing that you didn't do. That makes sense.
I think we should just get a couple simple video clips on that process. It's nice that they do it right away. That's what I've been doing now. I have my whole thing on my phone. Well, you can't really see it, but I copy and paste it, and it basically says it's simple 1, 2, 3 steps. I'll send it to you guys, and we'll see if that's something that might fit into your system.
Yeah, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. I just wanted to bring that out.
Otherwise, they just got to go back. It's not the end of the world, but it's going to take a couple more steps. But there really are 3 steps.
Yeah,
and we can get them right away. It's going to be better. But sometimes people still, it's their first time. They're not sure. So we're there to hold their hands, I guess, and we'll make sure we have all that information.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the dollars just real quick, guys. So the first month is going to be the 49, let's call it 50, and the other is 29, let's call it 30. So the first month will be 80. Okay. Now you get the first month of the website for free. Okay. And you need to have that website you need to have a legal plan and a website in order to qualify for the fast start bonuses, the manager bonuses, the matching bonuses, all of those bonuses, guys. You're throwing away a ton of money if you don't have a legal plan or if you don't have the website. Now the first month is free for the website. So month 1 is 80. Month 2, you don't have the 49 again, of course. So you pay your 30, then you pay your 25. So it's like 55 is your total benefits and business overhead. And by the way, go in and find some ways to save the money with the perks that come with the membership as well. But yeah, guys, we're not here to think small, right? We want to get as much of our team fast start qualified to manager, and get your team to manager and get you matching those manager bonuses, and then get up into the senior and the upper end of the plan. There's so much money on the table, but you want to make sure you have a legal plan and you have the $24.95 website.
Yeah, that's your expense. Think about it, even as a brand new associate, basically one membership, like what Darnell Self showed, covers all your expenses and then some, basically right out of the gate. So that, if you're I'm always thinking like return on investment. Okay, how do I get my return on investment? What is that? Of course, I've been in companies where they had a big upfront because of a package or something that I just had to look at it like, okay, what do I got to do to cover that? What activity do I have to do to be able to justify those expenses? And does it make sense? I think here people catch on pretty quickly. And when you're in the back office, you see all the things that you get in the Engage. You see the app that you get. You see all these pieces to the puzzle. It's a big bang for the buck. It's well worth it, and you can get your return, your first couple of days in the game.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
we got I got the business plan, and there's so much in there. I was blown away. There's a lot of support that they give you.
I'm doing the trademark right now. I have a friend that he sells flashlights. He's a flashlight guy at Home Depots, Menards, Costco, Walmart's. He sells 300 million a year in flashlights. and he's saying he found out he could get he does trademarks almost every week, and he couldn't believe that he can get a legal plan. He told me he's paying $800 per trademark through his buddy who's an attorney. Well, with this plan, you get a trademark for free. The first one is free, and it's $250 for everyone after that. So immediately he's like, okay, my buddy's fired. I'm getting
Yeah.
illegal.
Yeah, by the way, that is engaged. You did remember it. Way to go.
54-year-old brain, took a second.
And by the way, guys, to get that fast start bonus, you want to be able to, you go right there when you log in, click on the fast start, and they have the fast start training online. Just go there and you can find a time and get your fast start training done online. Now, if you're able to find in your area, and it's in the tutorial, by the way, guys, so I'm not going to take the time here, but you can go in your area, and if you find a fast start training in your area, then they'll and you attend that and get signed off on it, then they'll go ahead and pay you $400 for getting your 3 memberships and 1 associate. So John, you get the 400 and the commissions?
Yeah, you get the 400 and the commissions. That's how it's about 900 bucks. But and the cool thing, they're just kind of rolling out this the live fast start trainings. So if you don't see one right away, I say go do the virtual one. And if the live one is later on, let's say it's a week or 2 later, go to the live one, because they'll then pay you either way. Even though you did the virtual one first, if you can on your area, even if it's 2 weeks from now or whatever, go to that one, because it's worth it. It's an extra $200 that they're going to send to you for going through it.
Yep, exactly.
And hopefully, what's going to happen is this: you guys will create leaders. There's also, and I'm going to just plant this seed for the future. For those that start doing this and are successful, there will be opportunities for people to become trainers in their marketplace. So you might be in a market where there's very little of this, which happens to be the case in most markets right now. We're trying to change that, but we'll be able to develop leaders that will be able to earn income helping to train the future distributors of this company. So something to think about, because that's what I'm starting to let our leaders know. Like there's a whole nother income stream for someone who might have a passion for that, or might do that well, or helps us build this business to a certain point. And now we're asking them, hey, can you please, do some of these fast start trainings, and we'll pay you, per head that come through.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, after COVID, that went away for a while, and they're just kind of bringing it back.
Yeah, and but I watch my kids go to school via Zoom, and they learn nothing. I say, like Darnell joked about it. He says, "Yeah, you guys aren't probably even listening to it. Like we could be on the Zooms and doing other stuff. When you're in that classroom, you tend to be a lot more engaged, and the company realizes that." I'm excited to have people in rooms again and hang out, and we used to do the meetings after the meetings, and we had a blast. I mean, some of my best relationships came from those environments.
That was really cool at the convention. They were really honoring those trainers as well, and talking a lot about the trainers and bringing them across the stage. And I was impressed with that. Yeah.
They get it. They've been around.
Plus their generosity. They're like, okay, if you go in person, we're going to double your fast start.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't take anything away. They just threw more money. Just
Right.
add more money.
Sounds like somebody I know.
We just add more benefits.
That's right. Just keep adding it on.
We're all sick of companies taking stuff away. It's like, all right, I get it.
Hey, John, if you could hang a couple more minutes, I'd like to ask some of our leaders that are in Legal Shield now. You've kind of been going through the process, and Kevin, if you have a comment or a question, I'd love to get your input.
Cool to see someone.
One or two other leaders, either a question or an observation. So let's start with Kevin.
Yeah, actually, quickly, anybody here who is brand new, I highly suggest that you go through each and every income stream with a fine-tooth comb. You gotta do it. Here's why you gotta do it. Because you're gonna earn a lot of money. I mean, that's the bottom line. And so what happened tonight, you need to come back and watch the replay. Oh, I attended the live. So what? Come back and attend the recording. It's not how many meetings you attend, it's how many times you attended a meeting that'll give you even more information than the first time when you weren't paying attention the whole time. Which is why you want to see the whole recording again. I'll guarantee you there's somebody here, including myself, that didn't pay attention one time during this session. So that's important. That's what I wanted to just say, reiterate, come back and watch this, do Legal Shield, do all the income streams, but follow it step by step, like the guys are telling us. Simple. Just keep it simple. Keep it, you can only go through it on your own time. Everybody knows that. We're not going to judge you. Archie Bunk used to say, "Oh, geez, Edith, huh? We're not going to judge him now, are we?" We're not going to judge anybody. We're just going to help. And that's the bottom line. Helping. Okay?
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
thanks.
You nailed it, brother.
Thanks, Kevin. By the way, before we go to Donald, I'd like to make a quick comment. Guys, if you missed your window for fast start, just move forward, right? Focus on manager. Most of you are within your 45 days to get to manager. If you don't get to manager, doesn't matter. Just keep going. I think the first time when I originally built, I missed all the early stuff, but hey, let's just get you up to executive director, up to director, senior director, executive director, and all that stuff won't matter. But then like Kevin said, learn, and then help your team take advantage of that 20-day window to fast start, the 45-day window to manager, and just let's focus on moving forward and make the best of whatever our situation is and our team situation. But yeah, if we go in and learn this stuff, I mean, frankly, I mean, I don't know if I don't think I fast start qualified re-engaging. I don't know, but just focus on your team. I mean, focus on helping, the team, and if you don't have a team, learn this stuff. So when you have a team, you'll be a great mentor. But all right, let's go to Donald.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey, Donald.
How we doing, guys?
Great. How you doing, bud?
So I just wanted to say, I got in a little early because, I'm with Scott. Scott got his links in. I got my way in, and that first week, I just kind of looked around a little bit. I signed up. I did the fast start training, and then I don't know, 2 or 3 days later, I get an email. Congratulations on promotion to manager, right? With the certificate in the email and all that. I'm like, what in the world? I log in, I'm looking around, I'm seeing all this money. I'm like, what the heck is going on? So yeah, this thing is going to rock. I am so excited right now. And really, I have not done anything, and I've already promoted a manager, right? It's not that hard, people. If I can do, well, okay, I'm not going to say that because I'm a longtime internet marketer, but I'll say it this way. 20 years ago, if I could do this, anybody can do this, right? And that still holds true today. If you guys just apply yourself, that's all you have to do is apply yourself. And what Ken says, I love, get involved and don't ever quit, period.
Nailed
right.
it.
Awesome, Donald. Hey, one of my secrets for not quitting, Donald, is when I went to executive director before, we had the big meetings. So I invest in the laptop, the projector, the sound system. So I was the equipment guy serving the team. I had to be at every meeting.
Yeah.
And because I was every meeting and I didn't quit, in 14 months, I'm at the top of the company.
Yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
crazy.
just get started, keep moving forward. One
I
step.
can
after
see
the
how
other.
fast. I can
Hey,
see how fast this
I
thing
just want to
takes off.
clarify something real quick, Donald. I know you, and I know you did a lot of work and to kind of get your team started, and you've done a phenomenal job, and you and Scott and your guys are doing great. But when we released Legal Shield, did you run around and talk to anybody about Legal Shield? Did you market Legal Shield? Did you
No,
do
that's what I'm saying.
anything for Legal Shield to see your team start to grow?
No, that's what I'm saying, right? I got busy with life, and I had some other stuff going on, and I get this email that I promoted to manager. This thing is
That's-
taken off by itself, people.
That's the system working for you, and it's going to continue to work for you like
It
that.
just doesn't get any better than that. The system is working. People, you just got to let it work.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Donald. By the way, we did want to have the comments limited to our leaders at this point because we're going to wrap up the meeting and want to make sure that all of our comments are on point. So we might wrap up with Phil, but let's go back to Phil. Phil, thank you so much for bringing Legal Shield back to our attention again and connecting us with John and Darnell. I appreciate it. Can't hear you, Phil.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm so stoked, guys. I mean, obviously you see, what kind of individuals and integrity we're working with here. I'm just so excited for all of you to take advantage of this. Like Kevin said, you guys got to get in this thing. I mean, it's a simple system. Get in there, take a look at it, learn it, do the stuff. I mean, these bonuses are insane. I mean, are you kidding me? You show up to a fast start class, they give you $400. I mean, the people are going to come with the system regardless, folks. It's absolutely mind blowing. I'm so fired up. John, thank you so much, brother, for being here and listening to me, getting involved with these guys, these crazy guys, and making this thing happen because I knew it. I seen the future a long time ago. I've been telling you guys this thing is incredible, and this is just the beginning. Like, we haven't seen anything yet. The support structure, the integrity, the principles, the personal development, everything is here. It's all coming together nicely. Ken and Steve have really put together something really special here, guys. Don't take it for granted. Give them and the leaders the respect that they deserve. Get in there, learn the systems, get MSI certified, get qualified, get fast start qualified, and you'll see the money coming in. It's insane. It is insane, folks.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to end on that note, Phil. Sorry, guys. We'll have other trainings on this, and we're going to train our customer support with as many frequently asked questions, and so you'll be able to reach out to support. Here's where we're at, guys. You reach out to support. If they don't know the answer, they'll get the answer and they'll get back to you pretty quick. So it's quite nice. Our goal is that nobody will even ever have to call Legal Shield because we'll have all the answers. You'll just be able to go into a Zoom and talk face to face with one of our concierge, one of our liaisons. So, yeah, today's the day one, guys.
That's
Day
right.
one. Woohoo.
Hey, thanks for joining us, John and Phil and Darnell, and you guys rock, man.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
thanks, guys. And by the way, it's my fault we didn't have the training in place. If you've joined but you haven't got a Legal Shield plan, please do that. Okay, you don't want to miss out on the fast starts and the bonuses. So you want to make sure to get that in place. And we're closed out the month, guys. And so you're doing your part can help your team. Okay, it could help this person reach their goal, which might help this person reach their goal. So if you can get it done, even tonight or worst case tomorrow, because the month is ending on Saturday. So if you can go ahead, make sure you get your legal plan in place, right away, that would be fantastic.
Incredible stuff, guys. I got so much value. I hope everybody got so much value out of this. Ken and Steve, maybe you'll consider having John pop in on a Super Saturday, talking to the people. I think we'll have a bigger turnout, but I'm fired up, guys. Let's get this.
All right.
Oh, absolutely. We love John's energy. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
John, thank you for being such an awesome sponsor. Appreciate you.
They either love me or hate me. So, sometimes I don't get invited back to open my mouth. Sometimes that's
You're welcome on anytime, brother.
We love diversity in the team and diversity in every area. We're global and we're a diverse team, but we're all united in wanting to. By the way, I love that. I came over in Legal Shield the same day as John. I was in the People's Network. So I came over the same day as Darnell and everybody that was in the People's Network. And what was interesting is both companies had the same logo, make a living while making a difference.
Difference.
And that's how we feel, guys. And we can feel so blessed. Other people, they're making money over here, and then they hope to take a portion of their money to go do something significant. Guys, know this, that when you're moving ahead and you're building your team and you're building your dream, as you're building your dream, you're helping other people at the same time. Right? So it's not like, okay, I'm going to be successful and then I'll be significant. We will become successful because what we're doing right now is significant. I love that, guys. I feel so spoiled. And when you can make money, help people, and have fun all at the same time, guys, it doesn't even feel like work. In fact, I like to call it plurk. It's play and work. It's all at the same time. But I just brought that up because, I mean, I'll tell you 3 companies that I really have that feeling. I'm getting myself in trouble here because we feel the same way with Joel. And anyway, Savings Highways had this culture with Steve Gresham, and we feel that connection and the mission driven, heart driven people. Legal Shield's the same way. In fact, over the years, I get those names kind of mixed up because they're in my mind and heart, they're like the same because they're all about helping other people, and it's mission driven. And I think you guys will really, as you get to know the culture of Legal Shield, the culture of Darnell, you'll see it's very compatible with the culture that we've fostered here. And that's what we see with Joel. And anyway, I may have missed one of the companies, but tonight we're talking about Legal Shield, and it is in my opinion, guys, it's absolutely a great fit. And I hope you guys can honor, we've been working on this for 10 years, over 10 years. And there's 2 companies that if you said, okay, guys, you're the founders of this, what 2 companies would be a good fit? And company number 5 and company number 6, I mean, this is on top of Savings Highway, of course, but company number 5 and company number 6 are companies that are billion-dollar companies. And we dream that one day they'd be a part of this. So we hope that you honor our selection and that you get behind it and you plug into it. Not just because you'll be missing out if you don't. Oh, and I didn't want to fail to mention this, guys. To our global friends, okay. I realize that you're not directly getting compensation from this, and we could have not selected this company because it's not global. But I'll tell you this, just like when we have financing with these ad packs in the United States, it benefits our global family. Look at Legal Shield the same way. If you're not able to plug into Legal Shield because you're out of the country, you're not in the United States or Canada, you might feel left out. We don't want you to feel left out. And by the way, that's why we wanted to launch Company 5 and Company 6 at the same time, so that you wouldn't feel left out. And we do apologize that our global friends cannot directly benefit from it. But what we found is when your team's making money, they're putting it back in. When we had payroll the month before last of $266,000, okay, 80,000 of it came back immediately. Okay. So if you're part of our global family, you're outside the United States, just know this is going to infuse cash into your team. And when that cash comes in, it's going to fuel the excitement. A lot of that money they'll put into ad packs and so forth. But Steve, how do you feel about that? Does that make sense to you?
That's exactly right. Yeah. I mean, and if your team is happy and commission generating, they're going to stick around for a long time to come, and they're going to help you build all of your streams of income. And
Yep.
so, it's still a group effort, and everything is really helping, it is here for a reason, and it's all helping keep the
Yep.
glue together, keep us together. And what do we want for our team? We want them to make money. We want them to make as much as they can, doing the least amount of work legally, hopefully. But,
Well,
yeah,
that is an important aspect.
yeah. And now we got Legal Shield to help us with that.
Okay, Steve. Well, let's talk about Saturday And
Okay.
so how you feeling about Saturday?
Man, I am so pumped up. We got everything lining up. Everything's coming together. We got everything queued up, ready to go live on Sunday morning. So June 1st, everything's going to go live. We got a new funnel. We got new videos. We got new everything. So we got our pro shop happening. Our call centers zapped up, and things are happening, you guys. This is going to be an amazing 4.7 launch. This is going to be our biggest launch to date. And what's coming down the pipe for, 5.0 is ridiculous. I think we're probably going to have a 4.8 and a 4.9 release before 5.0. So we got a lot of things lined up, you guys, and this is just a start. And it's really a lot of fun. As I've been putting the funnels together and putting a lot of the material together, it's just so much fun to see. There's a lot of excitement behind it. Everybody that's touched this, that's seen it, that's heard about it, that's part of it, is excited and coming up with ideas and getting really, really pumped up. Even our lead power and Ron, he is going out of his mind, you guys. He's got some really good stuff to talk about on Saturday, on our Super Saturday. He is pumped up and coming up with all kinds of ideas on how to integrate our social media marketing, our advertising, our lead flow, everything geared around this magnetic marketing, this offline marketing. As we crack this part of the code, you guys, we really feel that this is going to set us aside. I mean, already we're set aside from any other marketing system out there, period. We do things that nobody else is doing. We are a leader in our niche. And, as this thing grows and it gets better and better, we're really going to prove that out with, hundreds and thousands of people joining this team. And with this offline marketing, this is going to be one of the final cracking of the code to really reach people, to get their attention, to show them what we're doing, bring them into the community, see what we're doing, see what we're all about. That's the hardest part, is just getting people's attention away from the hundreds and thousands of other ads scrolling through as they're power scrolling through their feeds. And they're watching videos and they're just getting bombarded with this and that. It's exciting, but then there's 5 other exciting things that are happening. But now they're going to see it offline, and then they're going to see it online. As soon as they click that QR code, we're going to be following them online, you guys. So it's going to be like that, that 1-2 punch. Then they're going to get, engaged, and they're going to realize how easy it is to, I know that there's a lot of people out there that aren't doing network marketing right now. I know a majority of them know what network marketing is and have tried to do network marketing before. And if they had a system like this and, way to stick a sticker on the back of your car or stick a sign out in your front yard or hand out some cards, that they would, this is going to make a big difference, because they're going to say, oh, wow, I can start to build a team. I can be successful in network marketing, but not have to go do network marketing. I don't have to run around.
I don't want to do it the old way, Steve.
I don't want to do it the old way. I shy away when my friends, family, and neighbors talk to me about it. I don't want to. Who wants to go through a whole presentation, when I'm having a barbecue? So with this, I just hand them a card. Here, take my card, QR code it, and at your own time, at your own leisure. And that's the difference. And people are going to start to catch on to that. And when they realize that they can get paid 6, 7, 8 different ways from 6, 7, 8 different companies that they're building teams in, this thing's going to go viral. And, we're all poised. You guys are, everybody here, everybody watching this video is in the right place at the right time. And I couldn't be more excited for you. And, excuse my language, but it's balls to the walls, you guys. It's time to get busy.
By the
This
way,
sounds
Steve, that's
good.
that's a airplane term when they
Yeah,
when they throw the throttle down, they have balls on the throttle. That's airplane terms. Just so you
that's
know.
right. It's time to get
We're
jiggy.
putting the throttle down, baby.
That's right.
Hey, Steve, real quick. So we have some before the 4.7 starts. We have founders that have the benefits of what we have right now, and they're going to get the benefits of the 4.7, right?
That's right. So you're not going to lose out on any of the benefits. We're just going to add on to what you already got, what you've already subscribed to, whether you're in the assurance plan or not, any ad packs that you've got. We're just going to add on all of the extra benefits to what you've already purchased, and then we're going to start offering those services to people coming in the future.
Yeah. So this is kind of a last minute opportunity, guys. If you're not yet elite, new elites are going to have 300 leads a month. If you're a founder, you're going to continue to get the 500 leads a month. Plus you're going to get we're adding the sticker credits that you're going to learn more about on Saturday. So you get the best of both worlds. Also with the ad packs, the same thing. There's credits. Anyway, there's benefits now, guys, to getting up to the highest level of membership and the highest level of on the ad packs. So that door's closing on Saturday, and once we go to June 1st. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that.
That's right. Whatever level membership you're at on June 1st, that's where you're going to be. And if you decide to upgrade at after June 1st, you're going to get the 4.7 leads, which is less than what we're offering right now. So right now, 500 leads with an elite package. After June 1st, it's going to be 300 leads with the elite package. Still a phenomenal deal. And it's going to be all new people coming in. All the videos have been redone. All the funnels have been redone to reflect that. So nobody's going to know the difference except for you guys.
Yeah, you're going to keep you're going to get all the old benefits plus the new benefits.
That's
added
right.
to the program.
Yep. So you'll be getting 500 leads for as long as you keep your elite membership alive. So that's a significant benefit, you guys. It's significant.
All right, Steve, should we wrap it up?
Let's do it, man. I'll see you guys on Saturday. We're looking forward to it.
All right, guys, our tradition, as you know, is at the end, we invite everyone to unmute and say goodbye to your teammates. We'll go ahead and do that now. Das vidad, you guys.
From Ian Jackson.
Aloha, everybody.
Ta-ta for now.
Good night, everyone.
God bless everyone.
I truly enjoyed
See you
it.
Saturday.
And Steve and all the hosts and John and Phil and
Yeah,
Real. I
Trails.
everybody was truly awesome. Love you all.
All right, everybody.
All right.
See you
signing
later.
out.
Bye,
Glad to be here.
next one.
I'm so excited.
Love
I
you
love you
guys.
back.
Lord.
I love you back.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
guys.
Lord, for all you've done for
go.
us. I'm
Don't
so
get it in.
Sean,
very
thank you, Sam, thank
grateful.
you,
Auf Wiedersehen.
Phil,
Woo.
Thank you
thank
all.
you, Steve.
Very
All
nice.
right.
You all
Very,
are
very nice. I
awesome.
truly
Thank you,
enjoyed it.
Steve
Very nice.
Thanks, guys.
Shout
See you
out.
Saturday.
See you later.
See you
Thank you,
Saturday.
Heather, if
Bye,
you're still
everybody.
here.
See you
Love you
Saturday.
guys.
Thanks,
Good
hear you all. Love
night.
you all. Have a
Okay.
nice